Good morning. This is Peter Combs from BidAmount.com. Today is Friday, November 11th, 2016, and we're going to take a look back and see how things went on items listed in the newsletter this week. We're also going to take a look at the sale that took place in London at Christie's earlier this week on the 8th. We had posted a piece on it October 19th on our blog with a link to the catalog. If you come to the page, you can click here and it will take you over to the catalog. We have all of Christie's catalogs from recent years in the dealer and auction section. We also have them from Bonhams and to John's and a few other places, so you can go and do your research there. It's rather handy. But at any rate, back to the sale. The sale didn't do very well, rather surprising. 45% of the lots failed to meet their reserves for whatever reasons, and some of them were pretty important lots. Starting off with this very nice Qinlong background vase. This particular vase is maybe the only one known, or one other is in the Palace Museum. It had been on the market over the years in the not-too-distant past, did pretty well. This time around, it failed to make its reserve, so the Chinese appear to be continuing their selectivity these days. Their interest in fresh things to the market remains pretty strong, but things from that have been on the market ever in the past, they're not interested in them. If they've been offered in the recent past anyway. Next is this Yongshen Huform vase with a beautifully done mark on the bottom based on an archaic bronze. Nice green color, good crackle. Didn't sell, rather surprising. Next up was this. It did sell. It was this very lovely compressed form Ming Zondi Marken period jar, brought $155,000 with a dragon on it. The dragon was beautifully done, nice deep cobalt on it, very well potted, beautiful form. And then, of course, there's the cover lot, which was the hat stand. This is a Dao Quan example with Famille June with a coral red bottom, an interesting mark. Had been found in an English country house where it had been languishing around for 80 or 100 years. Nobody was aware of what it was or what its value was. Well, they know now. About $721,000. It was a beautiful example. Next was this rather charming interior scene of ladies and children. The kids were on all these different pursuits, playing. Didn't make its reserve either. It may have been the condition of the painting. Paintings can be tricky. I like this type of art. I was rather surprised, but that's the way it goes. Next is this good Ming Guanyin, good gilt bronze, beautifully cast, nice crisp casting, brought $333,000. Bronze collectors still seem to be pretty strong out there. And then you had this. A scholar's object was the Duanstone washer with landscape scene. 18th century, they have it dated. It has a low-relief landscape on it, and it's signed. Brought $23,000. And lastly, and certainly not least, is this beautiful Huanhuali square table. It's a well-known form. A number of these have been on the market in the last few years. They always do well. They have slight variations in design. This one had a beautifully carved skirt on it. What surprised me, though, is the feet appear to be a little abbreviated. The post that extends off the bottom of this ball down here seem to have lost about maybe a half an inch or an inch of height. Apparently didn't deter the buyers much, and it brought $600,000, which is $100,000 or $150,000 or so above what these tables previously have brought. So there you go. And then let's hop over to the newsletter. Here's this last week's newsletter. One of the things we did add, a few people emailed us and said that sometimes when they're loading our newsletter onto cell phones, because cell phones are so limited, it takes a while to load and scroll. So we've added this link here, and if you click it, it'll bring you over to this page. It takes a second or two to load because there's a lot of heavy data on there, but it should scroll for you more quickly. We've taken out some of the content but left in all the items that are for sale. Here they all are. And we've changed the layout a bit of how these display. Should help loading and make usability improve. All right, and let's get over to what was sold. The first item up was this. This was something we sold. It was a nice soft Jun bottle vase, pear-form vase. Came out of a deaccession from Cornell University a number of years ago. We bought most of the deaccession. It ended up in a small local auction. We got wind of it and made sure we participated. We bought all but one lot, a Japanese piece. This piece brought $2,900 and change. We were very pleased with that. It was a nice piece. And then next up was this nice silk textile was put up by a seller in the UK. What was interesting about it was it has an English inscription in the upper right-hand corner. These inscribed silks turn up once in a while. Most of them are from around 1900 to 1920. Very good quality, very finely worked. Brought over $2,000 US. And then we had this. This is from the British seller, Egmont Horn. He gets great things. He has a good eye. It was this Femi Vert biscuit piece in a most unusual form. I haven't seen this form before. Some of you might have, but I haven't seen it. And it did very well. It brought over $3,000. Quite handsome. And then there was this very attractive little rib-form teapot. Had some minor imperfections, and I mean really minor. Little nicks here up around the brown glaze under the lid, and this seller is meticulous about pointing out flaws. He even points out glaze losses on the interiors of his pieces. It only brought $100, $102, which, if you collect teapots, this is a really good buy. These rib-form pots are quite nice. And then there was this very nice bronze. I thought it would bring probably $1,500. It brought $800, which seemed really reasonable. It's a nice early 18th or 17th century bronze incense burner, and somebody got a good buy on that. And then next was this. We featured this. This was a little, I like Scholars Objects. This was a beautiful little ghee-type water pot. Possibly 18th century. I believe the seller had it listed as 19th century. Brought around $700. Beautiful example. If you like crackle wares, it has a large crackle and then has these small crackles. It's like a double crackle piece. Quite nice. And then last is this. It was a very attractive Kungshi jar with an obviously replaced lid and stand, but Kungshi pieces still get a lot of interest, and this one brought up around $2,000, $1,900 I think, and there's still a very good strong market for these. And that's it for the week. If you don't get the newsletter, it goes out every Saturday night, the notification that the site's been updated, and you can get it for free. Everything starts on Sunday and closes on the following Sunday and Monday. There's a number of things up there right now, ending pretty soon today, and more throughout next week. Thanks for visiting, and send any comments or ideas you have to us. We're always happy to hear from people. All righty. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.